One of the best ways to earn high ticket commissions, we're talking to the tune of $1,000 in a single day, is by utilizing webinars. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about webinars, and we're going to be going over some tips and some strategies that you can actually use to deploy webinars to cash in on big commissions, starting right now. What's up, guys? My name is John, and if this is the very first time you come to my channel, I do want to welcome you here. On this channel, we teach you all about affiliate marketing, making money online, as well as entrepreneurship. So if that interests you, definitely subscribe to the channel and click the notifications so you don't miss any of my future videos. All right, guys, so in this video today, we're actually going to be talking about webinars, and we're going to be talking about some tactical things that you can actually deploy in your actual affiliate strategy to greatly increase your chances of making sales with webinars. I'm going to attempt to use my little whiteboard and sketch it out for you. You know, I struggle with that. I kind of have bad handwriting, but we're going to try anyways. We're going to give you some numbers that you guys should be aware of so that it can help you produce more high ticket commissions. We're talking $1,000 in a day with webinars. So it's going to jump right into it. All right, guys, so it's going to jump right into this video, and we're going to be talking about webinars, and we're going to talk about big commissions, right? How you can actually cash in with webinars and make some big money, right? So one of the first things that I would recommend if you're going to be promoting webinars is to promote private webinars, private affiliate webinars. And basically what I mean by that is there's webinars like on ClickBank, and they're public webinars that anybody can promote. So potentially you may have tens of thousands of people, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people promoting these big public webinars. And the problem with that is you may have a lot of competition, and a lot of these super affiliates may have a much bigger budget to do a lot of paid advertising. And typically the person with the most paid advertising budget is going to reach a lot more people. So again, that's going to be super competitive. So again, number one, I would suggest that you promote private webinars. So basically, private webinars are going to be webinars that you have to basically get approved for. Maybe you have to even purchase a license or buy into the product or the program or the service in order to actually sell it. It just all depends on how that vendor has their product or their service structured. But I will say that the private webinars by far are going to be much easier for you to tap into if you're promoting and you're just kind of starting out with trying to promote webinars and get some of those high ticket commissions, because again, those public webinars are going to be just super competitive, right? So you want to do that. The next thing you want to do is you have to basically get people registered for the webinar. So you're going to have a good amount of traffic to the actual webinar registration page. So let's just say traffic to the reg page. Right. And let's talk about the goal, right? Because if we look at an average or a good webinar that's converting, let's say 3 or 4%, like most webinars do, if it's a pretty good put together, well organized, well thought out, good marketer, good, proof and testimonials and all that kind of stuff, a good webinar is going to convert at about 3 or 4%. So I would say the goal of amount of people or attendees, let's say the goal should be 100 people. So that's going to be our goal, guys. So this is going to be attendees. So this is the amount of people that you actually want to show up on the actual webinar. So this isn't registrants. So in order to get 100 people live on a webinar, how many registrations do you feel that you need to have? Now, I will say that typically webinar attendance rates will range from about, let's say 40 to 50%. So let's actually just be really conservative on this kind of demonstration, and let's look at 40% being the actual number that we're going to have actually live on the webinar. So in order to get 100 people live on a webinar or a pre-recorded webinar, whatever the case may be, you're going to have that's 250 people registered. So this is 250 people registered on the registration page. and 40%, let's say 40% of the 250 is going to equal 100 people live on the webinar, right? So that's really your goal, because if you can get 100 people on a webinar and the webinar is converting at about 3 or 4%, then maybe you'll make 2 or 3 sales, and the webinar could be promoting a product or a service that is for $9.97 and you can make 2 sales, or maybe it's $19.97 and you make 2 sales, and that's what you're really going to want to do. So some of the questions that you might be having in your head right now is, one, what webinar should I actually be promoting? Because I know that John said I shouldn't be going after the public ones, and how am I going to get 250 people registered on this webinar page? So for the first question, some of the private webinars, I'm actually going to just leave a couple links in the description below in this video, so you can go down into the description. I'm going to put a couple of the webinars that I actually promote that actually have made me money, that convert well if you send some traffic to it. So you can actually kind of look at those and check them out and see if any of those would resonate with you and be a good fit. The second question is, how can you actually get traffic to the registration page? Well, you can do that in a multitude of ways. You can actually send solo ad traffic, but when you're sending solos, you may have to send, a lot more traffic to the page to actually get 250 people registered, because a lot of times if you're sending traffic directly to a webinar page, if it doesn't convert very well, because you got to think about it, guys. When people are looking at a page and they see, okay, a webinar, they're going to think, okay, it's 2 hours. So whatever's on that webinar registration page really has to be captivating, and it really has to entice people to go ahead and register on the spot for that different webinar. Obviously, you can also do some pay-per-click ads. You can do some Facebook ads. You can do YouTube ads. You can do banner ads. There's a ton of ways that you can actually promote the actual webinar by doing some paid marketing. And if you're going to go the free route, that may take a longer time to generate 250 registrants. Like if you're doing it on blog, or maybe you're creating a YouTube video, you have to understand that if you're getting a couple registrants a day, it may take you a little while to actually make a sale, because you have to look at the statistics and the numbers to give you a good idea of when you're going to actually make a sale. So if all you're doing is sending free traffic, like webinar traffic, you have to understand that it's going to take a while to get all those registrants, because again, we kind of just showed you that it's a numbers game. You have to have so many people watching the webinar in order to make a sale. Now, one of the best ways that I find to promote webinars is to just do it organically within your follow-up messages. And I want to show you guys what that looks like right here. So let me go ahead and erase this. So the best way that I find to promote high ticket webinars and to make high ticket commissions is via follow-up emails. So like I like to put them in my email follow-up sequence, and I want to kind of show you guys what that actually looks like. So essentially what I do is I take traffic, whether I'm doing paid traffic or free traffic, and I go ahead and send that traffic over to my actual sales funnel. So let's just say sales funnel here. And my sales funnel could be promoting some low ticket or some mid ticket. They go through the funnel. Now, once they're in my funnel, obviously what they're going to start is to get my emails on a day-to-day basis. So let's just say they're going to start getting my emails. And then, of course, you have email 1 and email 2 and email 3 and email 4 and email 5 and email 6 and email 7 and email 8. And a lot of times when I'm initially promoting, I'm still going to be redirecting them back to this sales funnel or whatever the product or the service that I'm trying to sell and promote. But maybe after email 6 or 7 or so, then I start taking them through like another sequence of emails where I may be promoting different products or different services or different webinars. So let's just say we're down here on email 10 and 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 and 15. And then this is where I start interjecting different webinars. So this is when I start interjecting those private webinars, and I just do it in the form of an email. So they will basically receive an email and I will promote that webinar for a series of days, let's say 3 or 4 days. And I try to get as many people registered for that webinar as possible. So really all I have to do is, in this scenario, is keep pumping people into the front end of this funnel here, because as long as they're coming through this funnel, they're going to start receiving my emails, and eventually they're going to get to my webinar sequences, right? And you can do this for any and every funnel that you have in your affiliate marketing business, and you can have as many emails in your follow-up series as you want. So I can have emails here in, like, so let's say this is 10 and 11 and 12, and then I could skip a week and then say emails 40 and 50, these emails, I can start with some more webinars. So, I mean, you can just basically stack these webinars on top of each other. You want to space them out a little bit so you're not just selling webinar, but you want to space them out so that it just seems natural and organic. Like, hey, this is a new webinar. We want you guys to check it out. This guy's learned how to do XYZ. And it's a good way to generate sales, just kind of like on an organic basis. So like once you're starting to pump a lot of traffic through this funnel, you can actually start seeing sales come through it. You may get a couple sales every single week, and those sales add up when you're making $500 or $1,000 per sale. So if you do a number of these every single month, you can easily get to the point where you're making $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 in just high ticket webinar sales, which can be a very good thing for your business. And this is in addition to maybe the money that you made with your sales funnel and other affiliate products and services that you may be selling. So that's the way I like to set it up, guys. And like I said, in the description below, I'll have some examples of some of the highest converting webinars that I personally promote. And a lot of these webinars kind of do everything for you in terms of, if you're promoting it, they actually set up all the funnels for you. They set up the email autoresponders, all the products, all the stuff is set up for you. And really all you have to do is just get traffic to those one pages. And that actually sets up a multitude of other products and services that you can actually make commissions on going forward. And that's what I love about these ones that I particularly promote. So I'll have a link in the description for a couple of those webinars so you guys can check out. And again, if you are looking to make higher ticket commissions using webinars, again, it's going to be the most powerful way to do that. Most of the money, high ticket commissions, are generated via webinars. So if you're not implementing webinars in your business, you're probably not making a lot of high ticket commissions. And again, you don't need a lot of these sales to generate $4,000 or $5,000 per month. You only need to generate maybe 5 or even 10 of these sales. And again, if you set your situation up to where all you have to do is set up traffic and you have your email follow-up sequence, and these emails are just going out, you just pump traffic, and then you start to see these high ticket commissions come in throughout the month. And it's always a good thing when you see those big tickets come through. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about it, make sure you leave it in the comment section below. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.